So State Farm is wanting to implement a new program called Drive Safe and Save. And this uses the vehicle's communication systems, such as OnStar, to collect basic information about their driving. So, like how well they're driving or where exactly they're driving to, not down to the specifics, but just generally. So, the problem with this program is that some people think that it's infringing too much upon their privacy, that maybe giving that information out was just not be comfortable for them. So State Farm needs to decide whether or not to go forward with this new program. So first we're going to talk about the pros, and I think that there are a lot more pros than cons to this situation, so I'm going to start with the pros. In the past, the insurance rates were based upon marital status, gender, age, driving record, and they were not leading to the best rates. State Farm is realizing that. So the Drive Safe and Save program would be based on the specific driving of the customer, and this could lead to better rates for the better drivers, and the not so great drivers would just be paying the same rates they had always been paying. So Drive Safe and Save also is a voluntary program for the customers, so they can choose whether or not they're going to disclose that, and I think that's a really big pro to the Drive Safe and Save. And so the feedback that they receive could also help improve the drivers that maybe aren't driving as well to drive better, because they're realizing now, wow, I'm not driving very well. So if I improve my driving, then I could get better rates. And then this better drivers could lead to fewer claims, which will actually be more profit for State Farm. So this could really be another big pro to the Drive Safe and Save. So now let's talk about the cons. And obviously, privacy is the biggest con to this Drive Safe and Save, and I do agree that it could be possible that you would be infringing on their privacy if you were to take some of that information. So State Farm has said that logging the customer's travels, since they're worried about that, they said it would be a broad geographic area. It would not be down to specific travels, so that could help alleviate some of the customers' worries about giving that information, and they're just unsure about where it would go, where that information would go, who would have access to it, and I can understand where they're coming from in that area. So let's think of some alternatives to the Drive Safe and Save program. So as far as maybe a loyalty program, so you could sign a contract for a certain number of years that you say that State Farm would be your insurance, and depending on how many years you sign for, that could lead to lower rates. So say you sign a 5-year contract, then you'll have a certain rate. But if you sign a 10-year contract, you'll have an even lower rate, and so on. So that could help with not infringing upon their privacy. It would just be more of a loyalty program, and that could be a good alternative to the Drive Safe and Save. So my recommendation is to go with the Drive Safe and Save program. I think it could be very beneficial to State Farm. Some other companies are even using something similar already, and it seems to be working really well, and they've been using it for a few years now. So I think that it could be really profitable, and there are more pros than cons, I think, to the Drive Safe and Save. Mostly the only con is privacy, and it's the biggest one at least, and I think that can be alleviated when you ensure the customers that it's just a broad geographical area and it's for their benefit, and you really want to just get them a better rate. And I think it wouldn't infringe too much upon their privacy taking that information. It isn't like you're taking their medical records of what medication they take, and more personal situations like that, I would say, should not be allowed. But as far as just tracking their driving, I think that would be something that could be very beneficial for State Farm, and that they should definitely try the Drive Safe and Save program.